Good evening, both of you. Sorry, I've been having a very bad connectivity issue, so I wasn't able to join. So we'll just go back to class and continue where we stop. I'll share my screen. All right. Last class we were already discussing about the answers and we saw a little bit of this. So now we'll be continuing with the steps that is there to make the wool into the fabric that you're wearing. So we saw the first step, that is we saw the rearing part. Yeah, that's the first step. Once they are reared, what happens to it? Once everything is reared, this is removed with the help of shearing. And then the skin of the face is washed, which is process is called scoring. So this is till where we saw. Now we're going to see the third step. So you know that all the shearing is done. So what is shared skin? The shared skin is basically you're removing the first layer of the skin and the hair along with it. Okay, and then you're removing the dust and the dirt and everything, which is called scoring, which you saw in last class. Okay, now after scoring is done, this hairy skin is there. No, it is sent into a factory. Okay, factory where hair of different textures are separated. Now, for example, you have soft hair, which is red, then you have rough hair, which is green, and you have moderate hair. So this will be processed and it will be separated with the help of machines. Okay, and this process of is called as sorting. Okay, so sorting is basically when you remove all the hairs or separate the hairs depending on the different textures that they have. So you know what is now, you sort the colors out, means you sort it, you put them. Now for example, you have fruits and vegetables all mixed together, means you sort them separately, right? You sort them. So that's why the word is they're sorting. Okay, so this is how you do it. Now continuing with this, after sorting is done, you go to the next step, step 4. Please date. Okay, so in step 4, what do you do? All the small fluffy fibers are there, no? Like for example, you have seen in woolen shawls, if this is a shawl, you can see particularly in one portion, you will have fluff, right? You can see the threads all coming out. So this fluffy portion you will have in the wool also. When you're separating, after you separate them, this portion will have those fluffy bluffs. Okay, so this fluffy portion is called as the burrs. Okay, so they are picked out from the hair. Okay, so these are the same burrs. Sometimes you can see on the sweaters and all it comes now. So you can see that it's actually you have noticed in your sweater also all these small balls of a sweater or small balls of 1 minute. Hello. இல்ல bro, நான் class எடுத்துட்டு இருக்கேன், பாக்குறேன். Oh, you had to pay சரி okay. WhatsApp பாத்தியா? அம்மா வந்து நீ சேவ் பண்ண எல்லா கேஷும் போடு அப்படின்ட்டாங்க. Yep. Yeah bro. சரி ஓகே, நீ போ, பார்த்து போ, நான் போய் கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறேன். ம் ம் All right, so these are called burrs. Have you Varshit, have you noticed in your sweater there's always like a small puff ball kind of thing on your sweater or in your woolen dress? Have you noticed it?
Yes,
Okay, so that, what do? You remove that away, right? You just take it off and it comes off like a ball and you throw it away. So it's basically like a waste thing, like thing. So similarly, when sorting is done, you will have a lot of burrs. Okay, so all this is just removed. Okay, so this is removed. That is your fourth step. Okay, so the small fluffy fibers, and they are just picked out from the hair and they just removed. Okay, this is the wool that is ready to be drawn into fibers. Now finally you have the clean. Now in this you have fibers with burrs. Okay, so you can see it's all messy and all. Okay, so now this becomes separate ones. Now they're clean fibers that can be made into fabrics. Okay, now we can make these raw materials or hair. This is basically hair. Okay, now this hair can be converted into fibers. So next we go to step 5. Now the fibers, you can see this is just the raw hair. You can't just take a hair and make it into a cloth, right? You need the colors for it. Now I want a nice pink color shot, so I'm going to add the dye. So the color that you add is the dye. Okay, so this step 5 is the process of dyeing. Okay, that means putting your favorite color. So the fibers can be dyed using various colors as the natural fleece of the sheep and the goat. So naturally, what color is it? Natural colors are the hair. Can you tell me what are the natural colors? Normally, what color will be the wool of the sheep and the goat and this thing?
ma'am, white or black.
White, very good. White. It can be white. It can be black. No other color? It can be brown also, right? So white, black, brown, these are the natural colors. Now these natural colors will go through the process of dyeing and made into your favorite color, whatever color you like. Different sweaters, different colors of sweaters and pretty colors you have. So dyeing process goes on like that. Okay. Now once the dyeing is done, now what happens? Now all this thing is dyed up. So once dyeing is done, it's all gonna look like now, the hair and all, it looks like this is how the hair looks like now. Because the whole dyeing is done. It's all like a fur ball, it's all fluffed up, there's no separation and all. Okay, it's all messy. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to straighten it, only then you can make it into fabrics. The fibers are straightened. So all this is straightened, and they are, after straightening, you comb them. After combing them, you will roll them. Only when you're rolling them, you can make them into yarns. You know what is yarns, right? Last class itself I told you, these thread kind of things that you have in your mom's stitching room or something. There's only yarns, okay? I'm seeing cotton yarns and all, no? So all these things are rolled into yarns, and the longer fibers are made into wool, and these yarns are then stitched. Woolen sweaters and shirts or shawls, all of them. Okay, and the shorter the fibers is spun and woven into woolen cloth. So long ones are used for sweaters, short ones are used for cloth. Okay, this is the whole step. So what is the step by step? Finally, to end with, we'll start with, we'll rear the cattle. So rearing, then it is sharing, then it is scoring. So scoring means what? What is the meaning of scoring? You should be knowing that by now.
Washing.
Yeah, removing the dust basically. Okay, that is scoring. So after scoring, what do you do? Sorting. What is sorting? Sorting means what? Sorting means separating the hair of the animals based on the texture. Okay. And then you will remove the burrs. So cleaning of burrs. And then what do? You put your favorite color. It is dyeing. And finally rolling. Okay, this is the whole process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, 7. Here only 6 has come because I hadn't mentioned rearing as first step. Okay, so these are the 7 important steps. Okay, in the process of making a hair of an animal into the dress that you wear today. All right. Okay, note it down. 1 minute, 1 minute class. Yeah, you can note it down. Tell me if y'all are like done with step 3 and 4 so I can like zoom the lower ones.
Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Like the whole thing, or you want me to zoom it?
Ma'am, whole thing done.
Both of you, the whole thing is done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just a minute. So you can see that I have written everything in detail, but I want almost like for 5 marks, I want you to write the question. So I want you to mention all the steps, okay? So this is one of your homework questions. You can note it down. Tell me when you're done.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Varshit, you're done, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm done.
Okay, fine. So now we're gonna see about silk. Okay. We didn't learn about silk. Yeah, this is the basic intro that I gave you about silk, right? So now we're gonna learn about silk in detail. Okay. Okay. So silk fibers, you know that they're also made from animal fibers. So silk is natural or synthetic? Are silk fibers natural or synthetic? What are natural and synthetic fibers?
Ma'am, natural, ma'am.
Natural. What means synthetic fibers? What is the meaning?
Ma'am, synthetic fibers means, ma'am, man-made, ma'am. Man-made
Man.
fibers.
Very good, very good. Okay, so silk fibers, they're also animal fibers. So silkworms, what they will do, they'll spin the. I'll just copy this over here down, so it will be easy for you for like learning. You need not copy because this you already made in your notes. Okay, just copying this part. Wait. Okay, so this is how the whole silk is being made. Okay, so as we already saw earlier. 1 minute, guys. Yeah. Okay. So you can see. So first, what happens? The moth will lay hundreds of eggs. Okay. And after hundreds of eggs are laid, this larva will come out, which is the baby, the pupa. Okay. So the pupa, this is the pupa. All right. So the pupa. And then from the pupa, the baby will grow by eating mulberry leaves. This is very important. I'll ask you in your tests. Okay. By eating mulberry leaves. And it will grow up very big. And it will spin a cocoon. Okay, it will spin. This cocoon, you can see the spinning, no? This spinning is only the silk worm. This is the silk. All right. Now this silk, from here, this cocoon will come out. It will break through. Okay, if it breaks through, this will be of no use. This will be of no use. It will be thrown away. Okay. So what they should do in order to get the silk, they have to boil the cocoon. Okay. So this cocoon is boiled. It is boiled and the pupa, that is the baby inside, is killed, and this is taken out as silk fiber. Silk fiber, and then it is spun, made into yarn, stitched, and you get the silk. This is the whole process. All right. Is it understandable? Did you
Yes,
understand
ma'am.
it? Okay. So silk fibers, they're also animal fibers. So silkworms, what they will do, they will spin the silk fiber around them, rearing of the silkworm, this whole process, getting silkworm from silk. So from silkworm, you're getting silk, right? This process is called as sericulture. So explain steps involved. In sericulture. All right, this is one your second homework. Only 2 homeworks since both of them are like long answers. Okay, so this process is called sericulture. Okay, so now we're going to see the life history of silkworm, which we already like saw. I'll just like tell you in detail in words now, so it'll be easier for you to understand. So the female silk moth, this is the female. Okay. So female silk moth, what they will do is it will lay eggs, okay, from which the larva will hatch. This larva is called as the pupa, or it is called as the caterpillar or silkworm. Okay. Now they will grow, and when the caterpillar is ready to enter, so before mentioning pupa, okay, or something but the silkworm. Okay, so this is the, after this only it becomes the pupa. Okay, it goes to the next stage. So at first it weaves a net to hold itself, and then so it eats mulberry leaves. Now the one that is inside is also the pupa is only inside. Okay, so it weaves like a net to first hold itself, and then it moves its head from left to right. This is how its head moves. Okay, so when it keeps moving left to right, it gets spun like this. The whole cocoon will be spun like that. Okay, this is how the spinning is done. Okay, so then it swings its head from side to side in the form of a figure 8, like this. So you can, as I did something like that. So it's something like this. Okay, so you can see the figure 8. Okay, this is how the spinning is done. All right, so this and all I'll ask in the questions. So listen carefully, okay? So moves from side to side in the figure 8. Then during these movements of the head, the caterpillar will secrete a fiber that is made up of protein. So this is a protein fiber, which is nothing but silk. Okay. So this will hard in air. It's a liquid. Basically, you know, spiders, right? With the saliva, it will make its web, right? So similarly, it will, with the protein fiber, it will make like this thing. It will be wet. Once it's dried up in the air, it will harden and it will become a silk fiber. Okay. So soon the caterpillar will completely cover itself with the silk fiber and it will turn into a pupa. This covering is called as the cocoon. Okay, so further the development of the pupa. So inside the pupa is developing, it's growing. Okay, so the development of the pupa into moth inside the cocoon. So it comes out as a moth. Again, okay. Okay, into a moth, it will continue inside the cocoon. So silk fibers are used for weaving silk cloth, you know that. So you can see how soft the silk cloth is, how strong it is. Okay, so it is, there is people, what they say is silk, a single silk thread, it is as strong as a iron fiber, like an iron steel thread is there. No, it is as strong as that. That's why it's very strong. Okay. So silk yarn is obtained from the cocoon of the silk moth. And there is a variety of silk moth which will look very different from one another. So the silk yarn that they yield is from different texture and smooth. So you have you have different breeds of dogs, right? You have Chihuahua, you have German Shepherd, you have German Shepherd, you have a lot of, what do you say, breeds of dogs. Are you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so similarly, there are different breeds of moths or silkworms. Okay, so depending on the different breeds, so different breeds, okay, different silk texture. Some are smooth, some are shiny, like that. Okay, so thus you will have different types of silk. Okay, so they are obtained from cocoons that is spun by different types of moth. The most common silk is the mulberry silk moth. That is a very common moth that is first used to rear. So the silk fiber from the cocoon of this moth is very soft, lustrous, it's elastic, it can be dyed into beautiful colors. Okay. Sericulture or culture of silkworm is a very old occupation of India, and India produces plenty of silk on a commercial scale. Commercial scale means for export purpose, because a lot of silkworm, more than compared to other countries, sericulture is most likely done in India. They will make silk here and they'll export it to foreign countries. Okay, so this is all about the life cycle. So next class we will see about how from cocoon, how this process we will talk about. How are they extracting? That we'll talk about. Okay, so this part you have already like noted it down before. So you know that this part, all this is like new to you all, right? Wait, this portion, this portion, this portion, and all is new to all. So whatever is new, even the female I've mentioned, and I told which one is the pupa, which one is the caterpillar, and which is the silkworm and larva. So note that alone down. And this moves in which the thing 8 moves its head left to right. Okay, so note it down.
Completed.
Both of you are completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, have you noted the homework down? Note the homework down.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, fine. That's it for today then. Okay. And every Sunday you'll be having tests, so please make notes of it. Okay. Varshit, are you also done with noting the homework down?
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Okay, fine. Fine, class. I will see you in next class. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye bye.